Emma always thought betrayal would come from the outside, from a stranger, a toxic friend, maybe a dishonest partner, but never from within her own home, never from her mother. She had no idea that one decision would rip her entire world apart. She was 19 when she moved back in with her mom. College was too expensive, and sharing a roof with Olivia, her young, energetic mother, seemed like the most practical option. Olivia had Emma when she was just 17, and that had shaped their relationship into something more like sisters than mother and daughter. Emma had been dating Jake for almost 2 years. He was 22, a little rough around the edges, but thoughtful, witty, and attentive. He made her feel special, like she mattered. Emma truly believed they had a future together. Olivia seemed to like Jake too, at first in the harmless, approving way mothers usually do. But then her smiles lingered too long. Her compliments grew more suggestive. She laughed a little too hard, touched his shoulder more than necessary, and always seemed to appear whenever Jake was around. Emma tried to ignore it. She told herself it was just in her head. Paranoia, maybe even jealousy. After all, her mom had always wanted to feel young. Maybe Jake's attention, even if unintentional, gave her that. But the unease grew. Jake started acting differently too. He avoided eye contact when Olivia was in the room. He stuttered over small talk. And once, he pulled away quickly when Emma reached for his hand, right after Olivia had left the room. Still, Emma stayed quiet. She didn't want to seem insecure. She didn't want to accuse anyone of something she couldn't prove. Then came the night that changed everything. Jake canceled their date, claiming he felt sick. Emma, worried, decided to surprise him with soup and cold medicine. She drove to his apartment. But his car wasn't there. His lights were off. His phone was off. So she waited, sitting in her car, heart thudding in her chest, trying to convince herself she was being dramatic. An hour passed. Then, headlights. Olivia's car. Jake was in the passenger seat. They were laughing, relaxed, familiar. And then they kissed. It wasn't a peck, not a mistake. It was slow, tender. A kiss shared between people who had done it before. Emma's world shattered. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just drove away, hands trembling on the wheel, her chest hollow and tight, as if someone had sucked all the air out of her body. The next morning, Emma sat at the kitchen table, her eyes heavy and bloodshot from a sleepless night. Olivia walked in, humming, pouring herself coffee like everything was perfectly ordinary. "How was your night?" she asked. Emma stared at her. "Where were you?" Olivia paused, then smiled. "Out with friends." Emma's voice barely rose above a whisper. Was one of those friends named Jake? The smile dropped, and in that moment, Emma saw everything clearly. "You don't have to lie," she said. "I saw you. At his place. You kissed him." Olivia set her coffee down. Her hands trembled. "I didn't mean for it to happen." Emma blinked slowly, trying to stay composed. "You didn't mean to sleep with my boyfriend?" "I didn't plan it," Olivia whispered. "It just happened." Emma stood up, her chair scraping the floor. "You're my mother." "I'm also a woman," Olivia said. "A lonely woman. And Jake, he made me feel seen." Emma felt sick. Jake didn't call, didn't text. He vanished like a coward, leaving her to process everything alone. She packed a bag that afternoon and moved in with her aunt. She cried until her eyes swelled shut. Not just for the betrayal, but for the loss of something deeper, her sense of home. A few weeks passed with silence. Then Olivia texted her, "I need to talk to you. Please." Emma ignored it. Then came a phone call late one night. Olivia was crying. "I'm pregnant. Emma's throat closed. What? It's Jake's, Olivia sobbed. Emma dropped her phone. She sat on the floor, staring at nothing. Her mother was having her ex-boyfriend's baby. There was no name for the pain she felt, no words for the betrayal. Weeks passed. Then Olivia showed up unannounced at Emma's workplace. She wore dark sunglasses, a scarf around her neck, and looked smaller somehow, fragile. She begged Emma to talk. Reluctantly, Emma agreed to sit in the car with her. They sat in silence for minutes. "I'm keeping the baby," Olivia said finally. Emma's face didn't move. Her voice was flat. "Of course you are." "I thought about not doing it," Olivia said, her voice breaking. "But I couldn't. He's part of me." "He's part of me too," Emma said, "but not in the way you want him to be." "I know you hate me," Olivia whispered. "I don't hate you," Emma replied. "I wish I did. It would be easier." The silence returned. Olivia touched her belly absent-mindedly. "I just wanted you to know," she said. "You'll always be his sister. If you ever want to be in his life." Emma got out of the car without another word. That night, she received a message. "His name is going to be Leo." She didn't respond, but she saved the message. Months went by. The leaves changed. The air grew colder. Emma tried to move on, but every night she lay awake, wondering what kind of woman her mother had become, wondering what kind of child Leo would be, wondering what she would do when the time came. The message came at 3:42 a.m. "He's here." Emma read it twice, then again. "He's here. His name is Leo." She stared at the screen until the sun came up, and then, without telling anyone, she got in her car and drove to the hospital. She didn't bring flowers. She didn't bring a gift. She didn't even bring a plan. She walked down the sterile hallway, each step feeling like it weighed 100 pounds. She found the room. Olivia lay in bed, pale and tired. She looked up, hopeful, afraid. In her arms was a tiny baby wrapped in a blue blanket. Emma stood frozen at the door. Olivia didn't speak. She simply held out the child, wordlessly inviting her closer. Emma's legs moved before her brain caught up. She approached slowly. Then Leo opened his eyes. Green. Bright green. Just like hers. Emma sat down. She reached out, and Leo's tiny fingers curled around hers. Something inside her cracked open. He was innocent. He hadn't asked to be born into a web of betrayal. He didn't know who Jake was. He didn't know what Olivia had done. He only knew warmth, the rhythm of a heartbeat, the comfort of skin. And in that moment, Emma felt something she hadn't felt in months. Not anger, not grief. Something quieter, a fragile kind of peace. She didn't know what would happen next. She didn't know if she'd forgive Olivia. She didn't even know if she'd ever speak to Jake again. But as Leo clutched her finger and yawned, she realized this story didn't need a happy ending. It just needed a new beginning.